Oh, so I got to bust Doc's balls. Oh God, Doc, how could you do this, man? Hang on, is that a little loud? Is that a little? Oh, that's way too loud. There we go. That's a little better. So, Doc sent me The Velocity of Information, which I want to read because I don't like reading books. I like listening to books. So when you get audiobook, I will gladly review it for a fee. But Doc is a friend and a colleague, so I'll listen to it for free. And his previous book, which I did not like, but it was because of my own personal taste. I could see definitely if you were a parent and you have kids in the schools and you want them to be safe, School of Errors, please go get that book if you actually care about your kids, which most parents don't in America, so never mind. But The Velocity of Information, I got to tell you a real quick story about Doc, then we'll get to the busting of the balls. So Doc was the first guy um, to give us a heads up about the disease. And it was like a week heads up. He's like, dude, go buy some supplies. Start thinking FEMA camps. We're like, what? It was me and the masculine clique. He's like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, man. Like that. He had his finger on the pulse. This guy is no joke. He is the safety PhD. So I know we all bust each other's balls on our little sphere here. But Doc is no joke. He's legit. And he's a nice guy. So when he writes a book, it's gonna be no joke. And this is kind of related to like how quickly information spreads, including misinformation, and not the type the government considers misinformation, which is also called the truth. Uh so I do have somewhat of an intellectual interest in this one. The previous one, School of Errors, I was like, "Where's the numbers?" He's like, "Well, I didn't want to write the book with all the numbers in there because it would be boring." And I'm like, "But that's for common people. What about your buddy Cappy, who doesn't want to be bored and is a numbers guy?" I was like, that was my complaint about it. So this one, I hopefully have a little bit more numbers. I will review it later. But forget whether you should buy this book or not. I gotta tell you, when I was finding, I was like, you gotta make a little thumbnail or something. I'm like, okay, I'll get the book cover, right? I'll find a picture of Doc, David Perota. I can find. So I look up the book, and there's his author page, and I look, and there's a little picture of him. And he's doing the thing, and more of a serious, the thumb on the chin. I'm like, oh, I have got to take a Charlie Brown running kick at Lucy's ball square in your nuts on this one, Doc. What? That is the douchiest thing ever. That one. Oh yeah, the curve thing. You guys remember that in high school? Do you? That was the thing in the 90s, early 90s. Cause you always do that, right? You always are doing this, right? It never happens. And the only other guy who does it worse than Doc is Stefan Molyneux. Where he's just got this, hey, it's like, oh geez, Stefan, you're supposed to be sincere. You're supposed to be 100% authentic. What? Who told you to pose that way? You're never gonna see me unless I'm making fun of it. Not no covered no book. It's gonna be me and a dumb looking dog, or me and my nieces, or just a normal picture of me looking like a schmuck. Oh, but Doc had the picture. You had the thumb and very intellectual. So nothing to do with the book, just like picking on Doc. Anyway, so The Velocity of Information is up. I've linked it below. If you've read Doc's previous book or just follow his podcast, go ahead, pick up a copy. I do believe, let me pull it up. Oh yeah, it is hardcover. I've had hardcover the entire time. I'm like, okay, so it's hardcover. Hardcover $75? Jesus, what? Is this a school book you're selling to your students? Holy shit. How is this $75? Doc, that's a really? What's it cost to print? Mine wasn't that expensive. Okay, obviously, I would go with the paperback, which is 35, and Kindle, which is 33. Maybe I wonder if Doc is aiming for the academics. I bet you that's what it is. I bet you Doc is aiming for the academics and the safety nerds, all the bureaucrats and the public institutions. I wonder if that's what he's doing. He's gonna nail those suckers and get some of his fucking tax money back. Bet you that's what he's doing. Anyway, well, if you have $75, you want to get a hardcover or go get paperback or Kindle for $35, $33 respectively. You got that. It should be out in audiobook next year. I don't know how that works. I know he's got a real publisher because he's a real author. Roman and Littlefield are the publishers, and they said something about, no, we got to wait some time before you release it on Audible. I wonder if Roman and Littlefield are like headed up by nothing but gray hairs who are unaware of how important it is to get your audiobook out as quickly as possible. But that's not Doc's choice. Anyway, so so go get a copy of it. I will be doing a review because I like Doc. And I will actually read the book. Boy, you can read a book as far as you guys know, yeah. It's like a back of the look, it just summarizes it here. I used to do that back in grade school. I'd read the back part or the insert or whatever. What's it about? Then I'd read like the last chapter and oh yeah, this thing happened. The snake made it across the river and saved the raccoon. Whatever dumbass books they made us read in grade school. So there you go. The Velocity of Information is out. Tune into Doc's podcast. You can find him at safetyphd.com. Obviously, it's very niche podcast, niche specialty, but he does safety in schools and safety on a larger level as well. He's kind of the actuary of safety. So he's hired up by like FEMA and all those other people. I don't know if he ever does insurance consulting. Doc said he's been retired, I think, for a year or two. Does more work now than he ever has. So there we go. Wow. Lots of super chat. Hey, he's the Blue Wrench. Yeah, he's the Blue Wrench. Yeah, Donna or Jennifer. Why so early in the morning? It's early for you, Donna. I just had time. The internet wasn't working. Needed a new router because the old one lasted 6 months. That's what I wanted to do with my day. And what did I do? I won't lie. There's nothing exciting in my life unless I go specifically on a hike. Then I remember that. The rest of it is just fixing up the house. And I remember what I did. I did the math for all the materials for my retaining wall, and got quotes for solar panels. Because when we start promoting people based on the way they were born and not whether they're good electricians and electrical engineers, I'd like my electricity. There we go. Django Geek, $5. What's your opinion on asking to see someone's personal credit report before doing business with them? Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If they don't have to give it to you, but absolutely do it. Yeah, I would do it. I wish I would have done that with my builder. Absolutely. Osama Abdu, $5. Aaron, a random question. Have you seen the 1983 movie All the Right? Oh, was that Tom Cruise or was that Charlie Sheen's brother, Emilio Estevez? Great movie depicted. Oh, yes. All the Right Moves, where he starts applying for jobs and they keep telling him to go to college. Or was that? Are we confusing that with Risky Business? Hang on. All the Right Moves. Because I think it was Emilio Estevez and Demi Moore. No, that is maybe I'm thinking of a completely different movie. 1983. Wow. Apparently my internet is taking its sweet time. All the Right Moves. Yeah, look how young Tom Cruise is. This looks like a horrible coming of age movie. I don't get a background on it. All the Right Moves. Sports drama film. Leah Thompson. Oh. Steph Georgievic is a Serbian-American high school defensive back who's gifted in both sports as a B student as far as academics are concerned. He's a full-time scholarship. Only depressed moments. Not dead job working in the middle of fun. Drews becoming an engineer right after graduation from college. Oh, okay. Ampipe Company dominated town's main employer. American Pipe and Steel. Man, struggling. 80s recession. Steph gets through. Yeah, in 1983, that would have been right after the Volcker recession. Boo. It sounds like a horrible movie. Wrong for blackballing Stefan except coaching position. That just sounds horrible. That just sounds horrible. I won't lie, Osama. Let me, someone go grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Okay. I'm going to save you 2 hours of your life and replace it with 6 or 7 good ones. If you have not watched the spaghetti Western, I'm going to strongly recommend you do that because they're beautiful creations of art on several regards, especially the music. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Fistful of Dollars. Few Dollars More. Duck You Sucker, which also goes by A Fistful of Dynamite. 2 different names. Once Upon a Time in the West. And then My Name is Trinity, which is a comedy one. That's a good one, which is filmed by 2 Italians that if you are interested in following up their work, Bud Spencer and, who's the other guy? Terrence Hill. Those 2 are a comedy duo. Imagine the Laurel and Hardy of Italy. And that's those guys. And they did this movie, Miami Heat or Miami Cops or something like that. It's cheap, hilarious, simple humor. But those all sound way better than that Tom Cruise movie. Tom Canuck, $5 Canadian. Looks like he didn't get Amazon to do the hardcover. It says there's only so many in stock. Oh, yeah, maybe he did do okay. Yeah, see, he did go through a real publisher. Well, see, yeah, then why is it on Amazon? So it must be different. So the Amazon's got to go to the publisher. They're probably adding their cut too. That's probably why you're adding a whole layer of production there or salesmanship. Cold Fusion, $1 super sticker. I don't see what it is, but thank you anyway. And that's it. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.